You are on.
Are we good to go?
Yep.
All right. All right, it is 7 o'clock. Let's bring the August 3rd, 2022 meeting of the Village of Holly Parks Commission to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Felton.
Here.
McCanny.
Here.
Hutchins.
Here.
Berger.
Here.
Summers.
Here.
Rankin.
Here. And guest appearances by Debbie. Welcome back.
And our blast
Haven't
from
seen yet.
past, eh?
Haven't seen yet a Parks meeting in a long time.
I know.
All right. So you have the agenda in front of you. Does anybody have any questions, comments, changes? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So move.
I'll second that.
Motion and support to accept the agenda as presented. Roll call, please.
McCanny.
Support?
Yes.
Hutchins.
Yes.
Summers.
Yes.
Berger.
Yes.
Felton.
Yes.
Rankin.
Yes. And you have the minutes from last month's meeting in front of you. If anybody has any questions or comments, now's the time. Otherwise, I would entertain the motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
I'll second.
Somebody's got a motion first.
I'll
Motion by Summers.
second.
Support by Berger. Roll call for the approval of the minutes from last month's meeting, please.
Berger.
Yes.
Felton.
Yes.
McCanny.
Yes.
Hutchins.
Yes.
Summers.
Yes.
Rankin.
Yes. Seeing none, I suppose there is no public comment. Seeing none in the way of the public in the audience here. We will move right on to old business, which number one is the master plan, of which I don't think there is any update unless, Sarah, you brought me some changes to add to my list of changes to change.
No.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
turned in still.
All right, so that is still in process. We'll put that back on the old business for next month's meeting. I should have some time between now and then to put some of that information together in one place and get it all organized a little bit better. We'll move on to number 2, unless anybody has any comments or questions on the master plan. Holidays, number 2. Sarah, you look like you're reaching for your binder.
I am. So we did have a holidays meeting on the 20th of last month, and it went well. There's been a lot established for holidays. A lot of what we've seen in the years past is going to be happening again, so that's nice. We haven't lost a lot of the features. However, we also haven't added a lot to it for this year, which really kind of needs to be done. Specifically, we need to add some kind of a big event-like thing between the hours of 4:30 and 7. Really kind of dies down annually every year.
After the tug of war.
Yeah, so we need to have something to fill that gap, specifically so that it's not a disappointment to vendors that are there for the whole day. You know, it's really not fair to them to have a 3-hour break. I like having a 3-hour, slow down, but,
Yeah,
yeah, so
makes sense.
so that was one of the things that we discussed. But yeah, the street dance is on, the sidewalks, the stage is going to be delivered. The stage location may be in the same spot. It also may be in a little bit different location, pushed over a little bit farther east because of the fencing that's up, right? It just depends on if that fencing has been able to be moved yet or not.
Probably won't.
The hot dog lunch has been confirmed, the free hot dog lunch for the community. The parade is well underway in its organization. The tug of war will be happening. The community play day will be happening.
Wow.
The helicopter landing on Sunday will be happening. The vintage baseball game is really shaping up nicely on Sunday. There's going to be pie eating contests by Holly Foods. Yeah.
Could we just change the timing of some of those events? I know traditionally we've had community play day from 1 to 4.
Yeah,
Maybe we could move it, later in the day. We could have community, have the tug of war at 4 o'clock and have community play day go from, 2 to 6.
the only way to really do that successfully would be to delay the beginning of everything, like to really push everything back, because community play day kicks off right after the parade, which is also when the free hot dog lunch is, which brings everybody from parade over to the
To
park.
downtown, yeah.
I think it's a little bit too late in the game to be moving all that.
No, I wasn't suggesting we do that this year, but maybe next year if we,
Yeah, I mean,
change
ideally,
the
I'd love to
timing a
get
little bit.
something to fill the whole day, rather than try to reduce it, but that's still gonna be an issue right now, unless we can come up with something. But that is still a situation, we got quite a lull on the schedule.
we could maybe rent a dunk tank from 5 to 7.
Yeah, we have, and it did not draw the crowd you might expect.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. I don't want to do a dunk tank.
Yeah, we have done that, and it was not actually a huge crowd.
No, I think it was good the first year, and then it petered out after that. We did it. I think we did it 3 years maybe, and the second and third year it just wasn't. It was fun once, and then everybody kind of
Yeah.
shied away.
Right. Ideally, what I would like to do is look at bringing in a carnival, for a short-term carnival, which is not necessarily easy to find. A lot of
Right.
these carnivals want to do a
At
full
least
week.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days is doable. We could do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but, that's what I'd like to do for next year. At least that's not going to be a this year thing. But that's something that at least will keep crowds throughout the day. But even still, oftentimes carnivals will have that. That's just a lull time.
Right.
Evening and early afternoon are usually the big times for festivals. Anyway, so that's the basic update. I need to have another holidays meeting. And that did not get determined, the date.
At the last meeting.
At the last meeting and subsequently, I never did get an acknowledgement from the powers that be when would be an opportune time. But in I would say next week, there needs to be a day set for a meeting.
Well, does anybody have any suggestions?
I don't know, I really need to know the availability of Nick Klemp and Jerry
Right.
Walker.
Yeah,
It's,
that's kind of what it hinges on, right? 'Cause
well, I
they've
mean,
gotta make
they
it.
need,
They've gotta
they need to
there.
be included.
Yeah.
If you guys pick a date and it doesn't work, then they'll send out an email or call and let you know if it doesn't work. So we can set a date and time right now.
You don't happen to have access to their calendars, do you?
I have Jerry's calendar, I don't have Nick's.
Well, that's half the battle. Is he free one day next week in the late afternoon?
And open it here, sometimes in this building.
We did it on the 20th last time, which was, I think, a Monday.
Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday? Yeah, you're right, car show. It was a Wednesday, so one could venture that maybe Wednesdays might work better than other days for them.
If you want to
So-
schedule it on the 10th.
Yeah, well, let's try to schedule it for the 10th. We did 6 o'clock last time,
Mm-hmm.
and if that doesn't work, I can make a formal announcement on our social media and also to anybody else that might be coming to
I
that.
think the 10th is good so far. At 6?
6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Let me put that in my calendar.
You guys still gonna have it in the DDA office? If you guys want?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a-
Unless that doesn't work for Nick. Did that look well for Jerry's schedule?
Yeah. He doesn't always update his calendar as
Yeah,
much
right.
as I want
But-
him to, but
So far, so good.
from his calendar now, it does look good. So
That's great.
I'll confirm it with him.
Okay. Does anyone have anything further for holidays? Moving on, Halloween. How's the planning on that going?
I have not done anything on it since the last meeting that we had and discussed it. Katrina, have you had a chance to do anything on it? You were gonna,
The only thing I do have is Diane Bibb.
yeah.
She reached out to me after watching the live last meeting,
Mhm.
and she would like to assist with decorating and things like that for
Mhm.
the costume contest and such, and to hand out, pass out cider and donuts and things like that. So I did have, volunteer reach out.
Nice.
She said she doesn't want to she would love to decorate the patio. I know we do it a certain way usually.
No, we
She doesn't
don't.
want to step
We don't
on any
yeah.
toes, but she loves Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we don't generally have any decorations on the pavilion.
Yeah, I pulled that,
Yeah.
I got that
Just
very
the-
last minute donated, and I think it worked out nicely, but
okay.
it's not stepping on my toes.
So if it's okay, she would like to decorate the pavilion that day. If that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll
Add
let her
that.
know.
I will reach out to her about what her plans are, if
Mhm.
Mr. Lamont wants to donate those items that he donated last year, and she
Mhm.
can incorporate those, I'll try to ask him about that.
I think she was going to try to reach out to you, did she? Yeah, okay. Okay, good. All right. But I haven't done anything else, so I know I have to get on looking for gifts. Right? Prizes?
Yeah, so what I've done in the past is I put up a post on the merchants page there's a merchants page on Facebook, and I've put up a post on there, and I've gotten very good and very quick response to that. To be totally honest with you, I don't usually pick up and start the actual process of putting holidays to, like, all these things until Halloween until after holidays, just 'cause
Mm-hmm.
I just,
Right.
yeah.
Too much.
So,
One thing at a time.
I'll
Yeah.
do I can say I'm gonna do it now, and I probably will forget. Got all my
Yeah, it
focus
feels
on
like normally
holidays.
all of our
Mm-hmm.
planning and preparation for Halloween starts in our October meeting. We come to our October meeting, we say, okay, we've done this, this, and this, and we have this, and this left to do. Let's get those things done, and
Listen,
and then it comes together.
The one thing that we really should have established and don't yet is confirmation from the Yesteryears Tractor Club that they're gonna do the,
Mm-hmm.
and setting up the funding for that can be done now. People prefer to know ahead of time
Right.
than later. But otherwise, I'm gonna probably start on this stuff, next month, not this month.
All right. The next week, though, is are the meetings for those two organizations that have helped with the funding for that. So I'll
Yes,
reach out to
So
them.
that would be why that'd be
Right.
good to do ahead
Right.
of time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, I knew that was something I thought of last year,
Right.
like we should be doing that part ahead
Right.
of
So
time.
on the 10th, I'll be at that meeting instead. I'll be at the VFW meeting instead of the
Holidays.
holidays. So I can work on that.
That'd be
I'll
awesome.
request that.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
Okay. That will do it for old business, and then under general business or new business for today is volunteering for upcoming events, and I did not put this on tonight's agenda, so I'm wondering who did and what is,
So Brian wanted
The
that
idea.
on the agenda,
No.
because there's those fundraisers, and events coming up on the weekend.
Yep.
To see if we can get some of you guys to help out and, either do like parking or concessions or, something like that.
When is it?
Which
so,
events are you referring to?
so there's the baseball game this Saturday,
Yep.
and then there's the Hogs and Harmony next Saturday. So I'm all scheduled. So my wife is doing a lot of the planning for the Hogs and Harmony. So I'm all in that day, me and her and both of the boys. But yeah, Hogs and Harmony is on the 13th at Lakeside. The benefit softball game is this Saturday at Cyclone Park.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brews, Blues, and Barbecues downtown is also this Saturday.
Benefit softball game?
And were you referring to the wall
That's
as
different
well
than
in
the
that, or
Village
no?
baseball game.
No, that's the one.
I don't know
This-
much about
That's
volunteering
baseball,
for the wall,
okay.
what
Yep.
it's
Village
done,
baseball.
That's not part of that, okay.
What time did you
I
say
mean,
that
I
was?
was just going, but.
I didn't.
But that's not what he meant to when he was.
No,
Okay.
no, just those three that
Oops.
Rankin mentioned.
I can help with the vintage baseball game this Saturday.
I have it on my schedule starting at 1:30.
Okay. Sorry. 4
So-
The
o'clock.
baseball game?
Yeah, thought it was 1, but maybe it's
I think
1:30.
it's 1 o'clock.
It might be 1 o'clock, okay. That sounds more right.
Will Brian be back in town for that?
Yeah, Brian will be back this weekend.
Okay. And I'm willing to help, but I don't know what he is referring to as, like, what does he want done for
Like Blues
volunteers?
Brews barbecue, like,
Well, for the vintage baseball game.
oh, I
this
don't know about
weekend.
vintage baseball. Yeah, I mean, I know we wanna go there to support them. You guys
Yeah.
probably would, but other than that, I don't know what he has Scott has set up for that. Sounds like last meeting he came in here, was pretty set like with themselves. But
Okay,
it's
so
the
they don't need help with parking there,
Holly
but parking in the other one?
Portions, I don't know if you can help with it, but, yeah.
Okay. I'll be there on site for the vintage baseball game if they do need anything.
Yeah, because we can just show up, and as long as there's bodies, they can
Do
say,
this.
do this, do that, do this, and as long as there's a few bodies there, we can probably get it handled.
Are you gonna be there for that?
I will not be there for that. I have a previous engagement. I have to help my dad work on his truck. So,
Okay, so the next weekend
What
with
time's-
the other fundraiser, who's
Oh,
available
that's
to help
nice.
with that?
which one?
You're there for that one next weekend.
Oh, on the 13th, yeah, the Hogs in Harmony. I'm already planning on spending the day there.
Cool. I am not very available. I'm gonna try to get to there because I don't wanna miss it completely, but I have.
Well,
a
it's an
lot
all-day
that-
event, so
Right.
I think that the motorcycle, I think the ride starts at 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning and goes till like 1.
Mhm.
And then there's music from, I think, noon or 1 o'clock to 9. So there's like 4 or 5 bands that are playing. So they'll have music all day. I think the headliner goes from 7 to 9.
I'll be there.
Of course you will. You'll be running the soundboard.
I think we have a bounce house from 1 to 3.
Yeah, and there'll be food trucks, and there's going to be music, and there's going to
So about
be
5 food trucks, I think.
actually, and then the owner of Oakland Yard Athletics out in Waterford is running a cornhole tournament and donating, I think, half of the proceeds from that tournament to the downtown, whatever, the fire fund, whatever it's called. But whoever, what this whole 13th is benefiting, he's donating half of the proceeds from the cornhole tournament to that.
And his name is Daniel?
I don't remember his name. Actually, you know what? And I think I
want him on
misspoke
the
because I
holidays
think he's only, I think he's only keeping
Personally.
his costs. So, what it costs to bring down the equipment and pay his employees, and everything else is what he's donating. So it's not half. It's whatever minus it, whatever he collects minus his actual cost.
Yeah.
So he's donating the rest. That's what it was.
But it just goes to show you how short amount of time something very large and,
Yeah,
Being
and this
pulled
has been put
together.
together in the past 3 weeks.
yeah. Precisely the
So-
kind of person we need on the holidays. That's how we roll.
So I'll be doing the ride, like riding, and then I can be at the parks just there if people need extra hands.
Have you already registered online?
I will be. I was just
Okay.
trying to make sure to
Because
convince
they're
my
watching the online
boyfriend to ride
registrations
too.
and they're like, we have 6, we have 7. And they're like just watching them click up one at a time. They assume that a lot of people are going to do it. They'll wait until a day or two before so they know what the weather's going to be like.
Yes.
Because if it's like today, then obviously not a lot of people are going to go riding their motorcycles for 3 hours. But then you can also register morning of. So they expect a lot of people to do that as well.
I was trying to convince my other half that it's not scary. So yeah, he's like, I've never done a pack ride, so I'm still working on him. But
Okay.
I'll be doing
Yeah,
it either way. So
Sounds like it's a lot of fun by everybody who's done them before.
yeah, I have before. They're good. So I'll be down there after that. If you need a hand, just grab
Okay.
me. So
Yep, perfect. Any other items about volunteering? Anybody have any reports?
We are flying through this meeting.
What are they?
Just that we confirmed the helicopter for sure, we confirmed the hot dog cart for sure. This Sunday, Brian and I are going to be working at the farmer's market to sell raffle tickets for the fireworks for holidays.
At the golf
Thank you for
cart?
your time doing that.
Is that the golf cart raffle?
Yeah, the golf cart raffle.
Okay.
So.
When
we're
is
gonna-
when is the drawing for that?
Holidays.
Oh, it's at
Night
Holidays.
of,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They do it on
In
the
front of the
stage right
Moose,
before.
like at 9 o'clock. It's
Okay.
Like before the fireworks,
Okay, good.
they do the drawing. So Brian and I are gonna set up a table and work the farmer's market to sell tickets this Sunday. And also the 13th, for the event on the 13th, Debbie Musgrave and I are going to be doing the 50-50 from, I think, 1 to 3.
Nice.
Or noon to 3, or, I don't know, they have me signed up.
Early
So-
afternoon.
Yeah, so Debbie Musgrave and I are gonna sell
Debbie.
50 tickets and sell the tickets for the auction items.
Deb and Deb doing 50-50.
Yeah.
Debbie doing 50/50.
Yeah, right. Oh, hey, good. Thanks for the advertising.
Hey, it's catchy.
That's what we do when we walk around. Yes, so
Deb.
that's all the updates that I guess I have.
Okay. All right. Joe, do you have any news for us?
From township parks or?
Just board member comments. What, you have anything you'd like to
This is
share?
Village Parks.
Tony Brinker has retired from being the director of Holly Township Parks. And she's also on medical leave, and her last day will be August 31st.
Do you already have a replacement chosen, or will you be taking applications?
Well, we've got 5 applications so far, and because Tony put it out on the internet. But we have to go through our finances because we have a separation, a monetary separation for Tony. And she's due money for, vacation time and stuff like that. So we got to figure out where we're standing because we've got some good applications with, 5 different, it's a broad spectrum of 5 people, so we got to figure out what we can afford and what we can offer. And it might be maybe even only an interim position until we get the next fiscal year. So
Right.
all of our board members have taken on some duties of different things. Naturally, I'm maintenance and lawn mowing. Yeah. Fixing toilets, yeah.
Good times.
So that's what's happening. The 13th of August, we're having a employee appreciation day at the beach for our employees. We cook
Oh.
up some burgers and stuff like that.
Well,
So,
you'll be right down there with the Hogs in Harmony.
yep. And we figure that maybe we'll get some of the overflow from you guys to come into the beach if it's a nice day. And we have limited swimming, no lifeguards this year. Swim at your
Right.
own risk. So that's well. And then the rocks were moved
We've heard.
to Lakeside. They took the fence down from the cemetery, the maintenance shack, towards
I saw that.
Park Avenue. So they took that part down. They moved the double gates down farther, so you still have access for trucks. And it looks really nice with the, you can see.
Without the fence there, it looks
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
we've
saw
been
that.
saying for 5 years.
Yeah. So,
Or 10.
well, the biggest thing too is, our focus for a lot of time in our monies was Waterworks Park.
Sure, still is.
Now we got that behind us, so now we can start looking at doing other things. So,
Well, yeah, we have focused a lot lately on Waterworks, and we've done a few things there that have improved the aesthetics of the
Oh,
park.
So
So-
who took the fence down? How did,
DPW.
okay.
DPW took it down.
Okay, that was separate from the township.
Yeah, and that was the rocks that we gave them from the township rock pit.
Yeah, so we'll probably need to get some more if they're available, so that we can put the
Well,
ones.
me and
at
Brian
Waterworks
discussed
like
that
we
because
planned.
they had to go to Ron Dennis and buy 2 more rocks.
Oh,
So I notified him about some rocks at the entrance of, on Grange Hall Road, the entrance to the village where the sign is. Just backing in, there's 3 nice ones. So everybody's hunting for rocks. So if you see a rock laying around somewhere, tell Brian, because there are a few laying around the village here
I
and
bet
there.
we could go pull some out of the Falk Road dump.
Ooh, as far as I know, nobody's even supposed to walk on that site.
No.
Yeah, so, as far as I know, maybe not.
I was just trying to think of some vacant land that the village owned, and there's a lot of it there.
Well, if I get a chance, I'm gonna talk to one of the Mitchells, because they usually have rocks along their place there, rock piles, but they might have some up in the trees that we could abscond, go down there with DPW and a backhoe, or maybe even Mitchell's will say, you bring something down a truck and we'll drop them on, because they got plenty of equipment. So I'm gonna be the rock hound for a while.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, that's it.
Gail?
Just out of curiosity, how much did a rock cost?
I think they were charging $25 a ton. It
Okay.
used to be $100 a ton when rocks were big and fun. That's what they were selling them for, $100 a ton.
Okay, so how much does a rock of the size needed for a barrier in a park?
Well, I think Brian said he bought 2 rocks and it was either 25 a piece or 25 for both, because they had to be about that big around to be sizable.
Oh, so it was $50 for the 2 rocks plus the cost to move them.
We're afraid I'm gonna make any money selling them.
Wow.
So like I said,
Somehow I didn't think rocks would be that inexpensive. Even at $100 a ton, that seems pretty cheap.
Yeah, to move
You
them
know.
would seem like it would
Right,
cost
that would
money
be
to
the,
do,
yeah, that would be the expensive part, is getting them in a truck and having to have, having the equipment to move them around is the
most of
tricky
the rocks they picked were only this big around.
only.
So they got loader backhoes to pick them up and
Yeah.
nothing. Then they got dump trailer trucks too,
Right.
lower beds, 1.5, 2
Dump
ton
them on
trucks.
the ground and push them around with dozer or something.
Yeah, but you just dump it and then they come around with their backhoe and move them around so it looks good. So it don't take long to move rock.
Good. Anything else, Ken?
No.
Ms. Berger?
All I have is, it's some information about the moving wall. I'm not sure if anyone has seen. Basically, if you go on the Holly Area Veterans Resource Center page, I think it's posted some other places too. The schedule that starts tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow that'll be brought over, and then I know the opening ceremony is at 3 p.m. So
Tomorrow?
Yep. So there'll be
Okay.
an opening ceremony. You can visit the wall. They at last I knew they did need volunteers still, and really it's more like security, or talking to people. But that's something if you wanted to help, not that it's implied that you have to. Joe Mishler would be the one to
Right.
contact for that. And then I know that the closing date is on Sunday, and there's also like a closing ceremony is at 3 p.m. So that's easy. It's 3 p.m. 3 p.m. So
Okay.
that's coming up this weekend, and then VFW will be holding a brunch on, is that Saturday or Sunday? It's either Saturday or Sunday, because there are less businesses that are open right now, is because of the fire and things like that. So they are holding a brunch. It's Saturday or Sunday. She's got my phone, so I can't look.
Like this Saturday?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that, if there's a lot of people in town, or if anyone asks, hey, where can I eat? This is full, you could send them over to the VFW. They're having a nice little brunch too, so.
Okay.
So,
Hey, it's a paid brunch.
yes,
It's not free food.
no.
Can I ask
Good,
you a
well, it's good to
question
put that
about-
out there.
About the arrival of the wall? Do you know, I saw the schedule that it's supposed to depart where they're staying for the night at 9:30 in the morning tomorrow, and then traveling, so they're staying at
Somewhere in
North
Grand
Holly
Lake.
Road and I-75 tonight, and then traveling to Carl Richter.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a motorcade? Is it something to is it worth getting the kids up, and last time they came, we were and they just flew by at 50 miles an hour, going way above the speed limit, and
Right.
there was not, and it was a trailer.
I
and
think
it was nothing.
I think
to,
the
really
Patriot
see.
Riders are supposed to. There's a motorcade, right, with the Patriot Riders possibly escorting it. Again, that's going to depend on weather.
Yeah, right,
They're
it
not going
would.
to come out and do that. But I think they leave that hotel at 9:30. That should be arriving at 10 and then being set up and things like that. So there's a full timeline. I don't know all those details. If you want specific, that would be a Joe question for sure. As far as I knew, they did want that. but I don't know if that's confirmed, the Patriot Riders and things like that, so. Right.
It
Right.
wasn't that though. I mean, we were out there and it was, if you blinked, you would have missed it, and they didn't even observe the posted speed limit, and it was like very fast,
Very unceremonious.
very unceremonious. Yes.
Yeah, and that was a different group, a different company, there were a lot of hiccups with that whole entire thing. So hopefully this one is much better.
Just what, yeah, okay.
Mr. Summers.
Just, I remember a couple last meeting or meeting before, Harold Peterson brought up, I wanted to ask Brian, but he wanted us, an extra pickleball court painted. Is that, any progress been done on that, or how do I know? Joe's got an answer.
Mysteriously, the pickleball court has been added to the one at Lakeside Park.
Did they painted a third one? Okay.
What I
'Cause I
understand
didn't-
was
last time I was already.
somebody approached somebody that had a paint machine.
Okay.
I think it was Holly Township Parks, and they said, well, if it's up over there, and here's the key, and they went out
Okay.
and they laid it out, strung it out, painted it, and brought our equipment back. So,
Cool. So it must have just been done then?
yeah, about a week ago.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Mysteriously.
All right, I was
Yeah.
just, they were just, okay. All right, okay, so
Nothing against DPW or anything else, but it's,
mysteriously it got done.
everybody's
So-
happy, and
Okay.
yeah.
Everybody's busy and everybody likes to
So
help
how-
out.
Yeah.
How's the progress on the hiring for the DPW? I wanted to ask Megan that.
Well, it would be a Brian question. I know they hired 2 guys
Okay.
for the
Brian.
DPW.
All right.
Yep,
That's all I have.
Full-time, part-time?
one
Interesting.
full-time, one seasonal.
Nice. Okay, well, that's a step in the right direction.
Glad I asked about the pickleball. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, I forgot about the mystery of the
Yeah, I
pickleball
was
court.
wondering.
Court number 3, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They didn't get a
'Cause
chance to patch the cracks like everybody liked it, but at least they can play on.
it's- Right. and
You can
some-
always say, "Oh, darn that crack! If it wouldn't have been there, we'd have beat you." But yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
gotcha.
yeah.
Cool.
Everybody's happy.
Anything, Sarah? Anything additional?
Got done.
Yeah, no, I wanted to just comment to Brian, Brian,
Okay.
the good-looking Brian. That I guess if you could make a note, I guess, at Waterworks Park, we had brought this up before about having the grass trimmed all the way up as far as possible into the tree line, and it doesn't seem like that's occurred. It's become very tall now. I don't even know if it's possible to mow it at this point with a regular mower. I don't know. But I wanted to bring that up because I don't think that that's been addressed.
I know that that park is actually being contracted out, and
I
he was
know.
gonna talk to them. but I
That's
don't
the
know
last
if he
update we had too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So somebody didn't get the memo because there's still 8 feet between the trees and where they're mowing, I guess is the point. So if you can
Okay.
let Brian know that nobody's still cutting the grass up to the tree line like we've asked a couple of times, that'd be great.
Also, another note for Brian, if he could bring to our the next commission meeting here, I would like clarification on how this went down about moving the fence, and I'm thrilled to have the fence gone, but all out of nowhere, after we were told he couldn't move the fence, it's gone, and the
Yeah.
rocks that this commission was gonna put over at Waterworks Park went to Lakeside Park, and does anybody on this commission know anything about that, or?
So-
Joe might.
So 2 weeks ago, I got an email from Jerry saying, hey, how about if we take down the fence at Lakeside, what if we just replace some of the posts with wooden posts like they have at state parks, where there's not already a line of brush, or if there's not already a bush that would provide a barrier. And I said, well, that would be great. And then that was the last I heard. And then until this, where now I hear that they put rocks instead of posts, which,
Don't get me wrong, I am thrilled with that fence gone. But I don't understand
Part
the
of the
timeline of how things go. It really seems like it's very undermining of having a commission at all. If he could have an explanation of it, maybe
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense and I just don't know.
Well,
But it just,
a-
that's how it feels,
A
like,
little communication would help.
this has been something that we've discussed multiple times, and none of us had any idea that was happening, and so
I
it
had
maybe,
group.
but maybe it's all very explainable, but if you could let him know that I'm confused, I think probably the whole
We're
commission's
curious.
confused by it. Give him a heads up on that. That's all,
Okay.
for the next meeting, yeah.
And then the only thing I have is, if you haven't been to the farmer's market lately, you should go. I hadn't been since last year, it was probably early last
boy.
year. It'd been a minute since I'd been to the farmer's market, and when I went downtown and found the entire Crapo Park area and the future depot area filled with vendors, it was kind of overwhelming.
great.
It was nice to see there were hundreds of people milling about and looking at stuff and buying stuff from vendors, and I mean, it was definitely a cool sight to see all that activity downtown.
73 members.
Yeah, and
Last week, yeah.
just so many vendors out downtown now.
You
So-
know, I have been hearing feedback from businesses downtown, and they are definitely receiving benefit from that too. They are
Oh, I
receiving a
bet.
lot more crowd.
Ziggy's was packed.
It's been extremely beneficial to our whole downtown.
Yep. Yeah, I know. And they had some sidewalk sales going on Saturday in Battle Alley, and then along Saginaw. So, and those looked to be well attended. There were a lot of people, just walking around downtown and going to the sidewalk sales, and it was just nice to see the downtown busy.
Absolutely.
So, and that's all I have. And again, since there is no public, I assume there is no public comment. And if nobody has,
I was there.
you're not public. You've been
Are you good,
commenting
Emma?
all
Do you have
night.
any comments?
Emma, do you have anything for us? No? Okay. Well, then we will adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:37.
Oh my gosh, record.
Nah, we had a 15
We had a
meeting.
15-minute meeting because we didn't have a quorum.